Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me here at All on the Table. Quick little housekeeping note. If you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to subscribe and also catch my new show. It's Not Complicated, also here on my YouTube channel and my Substack, which will have the recipes each week. Now, I'm so excited for our guests who are here today because I have a feeling our conversation is going to go into three of my favorite things: passion, partnership, and pasta. We're all no carb left behind here. I'm joined by husband and wife duo Angie Rito and Scott Tacinelli, the incredible chefs behind one of New York's most loved, most popular Italian restaurants, Don Angie, and also the very popular San Sabino. I'm so happy to have you guys here. Welcome to All on the Table.
Thanks for having us.
I'm thrilled.
Very excited.
I mean, you all are so popular. Like, Don Angie is a force to be reckoned with. You walk past there any day at 4 o'clock. There's a line of people waiting for the door to open to get like those last minute seats. And then I also read that it's the most requested reservation for New York City on Resi and the third most requested in the country.
There was some data that came out that I guess said that. Yeah, I don't.
I mean, listen, to this day, I mean, we've been open 8.5 years. I still pinch myself every day that we are this popular. And I'm very thankful because, it's unbelievable that people love lasagna. So I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, people love like Italian American food in general.
It's
I
well
get it.
deserved.
Yeah.
It's not just Italian American. It's like the best of the best Italian American. And like the way that you've taken traditional dishes and put a modern touch to them, it's really so special. And like you go in that restaurant and you do feel like, oh, I'm somewhere that I want to be. Like
It's got a good vibe. I mean, it's so small that it
Mhm.
makes you feel kind of important, I guess, when you get a table. But we try and keep it fair, and people wait online now. It's like, it's nuts. It's just, we're so lucky.
I mean, in a world where restaurants have such a high failure rate, it must feel pretty great to have created something like this.
I mean, again, like Scott said, we always have to kind of pinch ourselves. Like, I mean, I don't. Yeah, we are so grateful that we've been this lucky and this fortunate that the restaurant's been so well received.
So take me back. Let's rewind a little bit. Tell me your all's background, how you got into food, and then how you met, and how this. So I mean, because it's like food, love story, everything.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess I should start so I, believe it or not, changed my career. I sold advertising for CBS Radio for like 9 years, and I just kind of it didn't bring me any joy or happiness, and I knew it wasn't really what I wanted to do. I knew that when I even got into it, but I just kind of fell into it. So I kind of took some recreational classes in culinary school at a place that doesn't exist anymore called the French Culinary Institute, actually like right around the corner from where this studio is.
Yeah, I almost went there. I
Yeah,
enrolled
It
and
was a
then
great school.
canceled my.
There's some really famous chefs that have come out of it.
Very
Bobby
famous.
Flay was in the
Yeah.
first class, I think. David Chang
It's
was
a
in there. Yeah,
great
so-
school.
Yes, and then I just really fell. I'd always loved cooking with my grandparents when I was a kid, always, always, always. And I just fell in love with it even more than I thought I would, and I kind of just quit my job and went full force into cooking. And this was about 20 years ago. So I've been cooking now for 20 years. And I met Angie at one of the restaurants that I first started my career at called Park Avenue Seasons. It's not around anymore. It was on 63rd and Park.
I remember that
And
too.
Angie had just moved to New York. I was already working there for about 1.5 years. And then Angie had just moved to New York to pursue,
Right at that time, yeah.
but not to pursue a career in
Yeah.
food, really.
So my background is kind of like, I guess, a little bit like winding with like yours. So I grew up in a very Italian American family, much like Scott, and my family owned an Italian bakery, a Sicilian bakery, where I was growing up in Cleveland, Ohio.
I mean, even more Italian
And-
American than mine. You win.
Yeah.
You-
Well, my
I
dad.
mean, I'm talking hardcore
Yeah.
Italian.
Well, my dad's parents are like
Yes.
direct from Italy, and then my mom's side. It's interesting, actually. I have those like two perspectives. My mom's side, her mother's 100% Italian American, Italian, but she's like third generation. So I had those two perspectives of like, kind of like straight off the boat on one side, and the other side was like, a little more derived, but it was interesting to have those two perspectives of like what Italian food is in America and like what Italian American cuisine is. And I think that really has shaped me in a lot of ways and in my cooking too. But yeah, I grew up in and around my family's bakery. They just actually closed it recently after, what was it,
65 years?
65 years, unfortunately, because my grandfather passed away and whatever. But it was a like a bittersweet thing. Like it was like a very
Nobody wanted
lovely
to run the
thing.
bakery anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
know.
it's hard,
Really hard work.
Competition now for
Yeah.
Standalone bakery is
Yeah.
tough, so.
But then my dad and his brother have built full-blown bakeries in their garages in Cleveland right now, which is another side story, which
Right.
is kind of amazing. They're just cranking out pastries out of their garages. But yeah, I grew up just in and around like the bakery business and just like, I don't know, I've always been drawn to like cooking and food and like hospitality in general. Like I'd work in the front of the bakery and I'd like make it a goal. Like if someone came in, without a smile on their face, I'd make it a goal to make them leave with a smile. And yeah, I just like,
none of our grandmas ever ate dinner with us
Yeah.
when we were growing up. I think about that a lot as we run the restaurant, right? We're like all about hospitality and food and making people really feel special. And honestly, we've had a lot of opportunity to expand the restaurant, and we've decided not to really because of that reason. Like we wanted to stay and remain really special and really kind of like reminiscent of like us growing up and having like somebody making sure that you had the best time ever. And that was usually our grandmothers, honestly, our grandfather,
Yeah.
pretty much sitting down eating. So,
Very-
and
It's good to be a dad.
yeah, and that's kind of how. And then we just kind of met, and we really bonded. Well, it's funny. There was a bar that everybody would go to up by where that restaurant was called the Subway Inn, which was an amazing bar. I don't know if you've ever.
R.I.P.
Anthony
It was
Bourdain
amazing.
filmed something in there. Like it was an unbelievable bar. It was like very old school, like cool. A lot of like industry people hung out there. Anyway, so we met there one night and we started talking about caponata somehow, and that was how we ended up
That was our first conversation.
kind of bonding.
Yeah.
And then we started talking about our families, and we knew we kind of realized we had similar backgrounds, but also different. I come from like the smallest family ever, and she comes from the largest family. We've been together for like 19 years, and I still don't even. I
Every
still have to be
time,
like, who is
yeah.
this person? Like, I don't know. Who this
Scott's like, is that really your cousin? I'm like, yes.
So what's a family dinner like?
I mean, well, the ultimate family dinner in my family is Christmas Eve at my grandma's house, my paternal grandmother's house. Since my grandparents passed away, my dad's sister actually took over their home, so they continue the tradition. It's in my grandparents' basement, and it's like, I don't know, 45 people around like a giant table, and
There's this
Yeah, it's-
unbelievable bar that he
Yeah,
put
it's-
down there. Looks like it's from like the '70s. It's so cool. And
I
then
love that it's in the
the
basement.
Christmas tree stays up all year. Her grandmother.
it's
would
such a
just put sheet
Midwestern
on top of it.
basement with the,
I mean,
the
it's-
sheet with
It's
My mom puts
literally-
a garbage bag over hers.
yeah, I can't see it.
I mean, this thing just the basement simply exists just for Christmas Eve.
Yeah,
It's
like wood paneling, like
Do you
Christmas
do the
decor,
7
all-
fishes?
Yes. Well, it's weird because they never quite did, and still to this day, it's not necessarily 7. It's just like as many as possible kind of thing. I don't know.
it's just like a
There's
lot.
always bacala. It's like bacala 2 ways. There's
Mhm.
always, certain
Octopus
staples,
salad.
octopus salad.
like shrimp
um,
cocktail.
And they've been like, my aunt's really been getting into, both my aunts have been really getting into it, like switching it up
Yeah.
now, which is really fun.
And what do they think about this restaurant that you all have? Like being so successful and everybody knowing who you are in the food world.
I mean, I think that both of our families are just really proud of us, and
Yeah.
it's just.
Do they like get a kick out of it? Like,
Yeah, I
oh,
think
you
so.
know,
I
I
think
think
they're
so. I
more
hope
like
so. I
proud
love-
than anything else, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. But yeah, I think that they.
I love
They-
having them out here. Like,
Yeah.
my family lives far away, but whenever they're here, it's such a special thing for, for us to have them in the restaurants and to be able to like
Yeah.
experience all these things that have like very personal ties to a lot of, I don't know, family recipes and like family memories.
And our food is so different than it's hard to describe our food, but it's so different than like, Italian American food you would eat in your house. But, one of the ethos that we always have with our cooking is that like we want to present it in a different way with new and interesting ingredients, maybe from, maybe just new ingredients or maybe things from all over the world. But when you eat it, we want it to be very familiar. And I think that's the key that it has like
Well,
made
yeah, I think,
work.
yeah, like kind of, I was saying before, like hospitality, I think is really important to us, arguably just as much as like the food and the cooking is. And I feel like a big part of hospitality is like, I don't know, like you want people to relax when they're in the restaurant. You don't want them to be like thinking so hard about like, trying to decipher the ingredients on the menu, or, like you want people to feel like comfortable.
Yeah.
So,
All right, so you bonded over the caponata,
And then we booked
and
a
then
trip
what
to Spain.
happened?
yes.
Like after like knowing each other for like 2 weeks.
And this was like back in the day when like,
was-
smartphones were just coming out. And I remember we thought it was so crazy that late
All we did
night
was
we were booking a flight like on a phone, and it was like such a
But we didn't book
novel
anything
idea.
else. We took 2 backpacks.
Yeah.
We traveled throughout Spain and stayed in like hostels and stuff because we really didn't have any money. And I mean, I always say, but I mean, I'm not trying to sound corny, but like I definitely, I'm like, I can't remember if it was the flight there or the flight back, probably the flight back, where I like looked at her and I was like, I really fell in love with her. I think she feels the same way, but like, I don't know.
No,
I still
same.
get nervous.
But I remember it was the flight there. So
Oh, all right.
yeah, I
Oh.
remember
Maybe it
sitting
was
on the
the flight there, I
runway
don't
on
know.
the flight there. I remember the moment.
And then we got along great. We traveled all throughout Spain.
I mean,
and
that'll tell you
like-
if you're backpacking in Spain whether or not it's
Yeah.
gonna work. It's a good thing you just do it from the beginning. Like,
Yeah.
let's figure this out.
And then we backpacked through Thailand like 6 months later.
What?
Was it really that? I mean, I don't know
Or a
about
year
the
later.
timelines.
And
Scott's
then
all
we
those
did
timelines.
Italy, and then we never went anywhere but Italy. Then we went to Italy like
This is true,
every
yeah.
couple months, and then got married in Italy. We went to Italy like
But every time we would go
25.
to Italy, we would go to different regions.
Yeah.
I mean, our cuisine is interesting. We have a deep love of like Italian American food, but we also have a deep love of like regional Italian food, and we
Mhm.
genuinely respect it and try to learn about all of it. But like, yeah, ultimately, some of the ideas we'll bring back of like regional Italian cuisine will like infuse into
yeah,
our
like
stuff and kind of make it American in a way.
we do it's called the stuffed garlic flatbread,
I've had
and that's
love
basically it's derived from focaccia di Recco,
Mhm.
which up until like we started doing it, the only person I know that made it in America was Nancy Silverton, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
I had never seen it at any other restaurant.
Do you have a favorite region?
I mean, I love Sicily, I really do, and that's
I do too.
And is your
But-
family Sicilian?
My family's part Sicilian and part Napolitano, and then the other side is from Abruzzo. So
And what about you? Where's your
So
family?
my family's from Sanza, which is in Campania. I've never
Okay.
been there, but it's definitely I want to go there. It's a very small town, but yeah. I actually got a couple of years ago my citizenship, so it's like in the town of Sanza. I'm like
Scott likes
written
to
in
brag
the book
about
or
his
something. No, I'm not
citizenship.
bragging. I've never even used the passport. Literally, I haven't
know.
used it.
Are you
well, like-
I'm
yours?
teasing. No, I have to. I have to do it.
Yeah. If I can
But I
have
think
an
our son
Italian
can get it. I
passport.
gotta.
Yeah,
get
we
it.
got
I
it. We
know,
got
I
to sort that out. Like,
But
that.
it was the whole thing. I mean, it took like my brother. All truth be told, my brother really did all the legwork, got his, and then once the legwork was done, it was really easy for me to get it. So I kind of cheated and just got it from.
You know something I hear from women all the time, that they feel like they're constantly trying to piece together their own health puzzle. You've got lab results in one portal, a different doctor for something else, maybe data from a wearable, and somehow none of it is really connected. And meanwhile, you're trying to figure out things like hormones, sleep, energy, metabolism, and just hoping someone will actually look at the full picture. That's why I was really interested to learn about Kinsen. Kinsen is a platform built specifically for women that brings your medical records, lab results, and wearable data together in one place. So when you connect with a provider, they're not just looking at one test or one symptom, they're seeing the whole history of your health. From there, you get personalized clinician-guided recommendations, all based on your body and your health. What I like about it is that it's specifically designed for women's bodies. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach. I'm tired of seeing women be an afterthought in healthcare. Kinsen puts women first. If you're curious, you can head to kinsen.com/table and take a free quiz to get personalized recommendations guided by real healthcare providers. That's kinsyn.com/table. And use the promo code TABLE to save 20% off your first subscription. Again, that's kinsen.com/table, promo code TABLE. Kinsen provides clinician-guided wellness and metabolic health programs. Treatments are prescribed when clinically appropriate and monitored by licensed healthcare providers. Individual results vary. This content is for educational purposes only and is not medical advice.
So
you didn't.
you knew after your backpacking trips that you all were in love. You both knew you loved food. How did you then merge together to start working together as well?
We worked together separately for years.
Yeah.
And I think ultimately we decided that like we're both super passionate about what we do. And the only way that we could like, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. At one point we were just like, okay, we both love doing what we do, but if we're going to continue doing it and we ever want to see each other, we need to find a way to do it together, essentially.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there was one year that we like lived together, and I swear to you, we had 2 days off together in an entire like calendar year. Swear to God.
Yeah, it was
Really hard, and our
very busy.
hours
Yeah,
were
it's gotta
crazy,
be
like
tough,
14 hours a day or whatever. Like we never saw each other.
Mhm.
So yeah, we had the great opportunity. I guess it was
Quality
Italian when we
so-
started working together.
You
Yeah.
were both at Quality Italian?
So I was the opening executive chef because I had been the chef of Quality Meats. So then they we're going to do that. And they knew I wanted to cook Italian food. They knew I really didn't want to work in a steakhouse. So I was the opening, I guess my title maybe was chef de cuisine, I think.
No, I think
Or maybe, I don't
whatever,
remember. But, and I never opened a restaurant. And then Angie came on like shortly after. She was working at the original Torrisi Italian Specialties. And she had done a full year there and was like, I really want to help you open this restaurant. So yeah, she helped me open Quality Italian. It's like the chef de cuisine. And then we did that for a couple years. And then we opened this tiny little restaurant in the East Village. It was like, and you want to talk about
it was called Dinner Table. It was what's like 17 seats or something.
16 seats?
People were referring to it as a reverse speakeasy. It was basically a restaurant like hidden behind a bar.
It was in this bar, the Garrett, which doesn't
Yes.
exist anymore.
But it was cool. It was basically, I mean, it wasn't the most sustainable situation. It was like me, Scott, and like one other person like cooking everything. Like,
We made everything on home equipment.
yeah,
So we made everything on like a
toaster
KitchenAid
oven, like
KitchenAid pasta attachment. Every day I would go in and make the pasta. Andrew would make all the sauces. We had another guy that had a pastry background. He would make all the pastries every day. And then we would have service at night. And it was like a 5-seat bar, a 10-top communal table, and
we had
two
one
2-tops.
yeah, and we had like one
and we had
server.
one server.
Yeah, it was.
But that's where we cooked whatever we wanted to. And that's kind of where we really created our own style. And a lot of the dishes that we do today we came up with there, like the lasagna, for example.
Yeah, let's talk about that lasagna for a second on the cover of your book.
And
Italian
yes, it's not
American.
real. People, I mean, these people,
Yeah, people get very
they,
stressed out about the
It's
terminology.
not lasagna. We know it's not lasagna.
Wait, what? Somebody has something to criticize about
I mean,
that
are you kidding me?
lasagna?
People criticize everything.
Well,
So-
diehard Italians. So in Italy, and I don't know, we didn't realize this till after we created this dish. There is something kind of similar that's that shape called rotolo.
Mm-hmm.
But genuinely, yeah, I don't know. We're not trying to say that's what this is. We just
Describe your lasagna for people who haven't had it and don't know what it is. This dish has like a cult following.
Yes.
so it's like pinwheel style lasagna. It's served like rolled up. So it's made with fresh pasta, and then it's got like 2 main layers inside. One is like this creamy bechamel with parmesan and a whole bunch of mozzarella, this like kind of creamy layer, and then there's our bolognese layer, which the bolognese sauce that we make is very Italian American. We add some kind of non-traditional Italian ingredients in there, such as tomato puree. Like true bolognese doesn't have that. So we add tomato puree to ours, and we also add Italian sausage, which is not typical. And then, so that's what's inside those pinwheels. And then they're sitting in a San Marzano tomato sauce with dollops of fresh Robbiolina cheese, which is kind of like an Italian cream cheese.
And this never really happens, but very rarely do we make something that like the first time you make it, you're like, wow, this is really good. And we made this thing and we put it in the oven and we took it out and ate it. And we were like, wow, it looks really nice, but it also like, besides the way it looks, like it has a totally different mouthfeel and you've eaten it. So because you don't compact it on top of each other and you don't put like ricotta in it, which like every Italian American typically probably does, it comes across as much lighter. So it's not so dense and heavy. It also looks really nice. It cooks really fast. And everybody growing up, at least in my family, probably yours too, like would fight over the corners. Everybody wants the crispy edges. Well, the way it cooks, it gets the whole thing, every roll gets crispy edges. And it's really easy to share. So it's like a win-win in every different way. Like you can take one thing right out. It doesn't mess up the entire thing. You have a piece that's lighter and then crispy on top, but soft on the bottom. And yeah, it just worked like it was. And, it's often duplicated. Is that what do they say? Often
Often
Replicated?
replicated.
never duplicated.
I don't know. Whatever.
that's
I mean,
it.
even though the recipe is available,
So the recipe's now in the book, so
it
people
is.
can
I
make
mean,
it at home.
we do
Yeah.
see several other versions now.
Mhm,
but
it
that's
definitely
fine.
started a trend.
Yeah.
For sure.
Mhm.
It is so incredibly delicious. How many tables a night do you think order? What's
I-
the percentage? Like
I mean,
most people?
Got to be
Yeah.
in the 90s. On a Saturday, we do lunch and dinner, and our lunch menu is the same as our dinner menu, pretty much, with a couple of less items actually. And we'll sell like on a busy Saturday over 100,
Wow.
and it's a pretty small
It's
restaurant.
a small restaurant. How many tables are you all?
We have 16 tables,
Mhm.
I think, inside. And in the summer, we have outdoor tables. So, like, the best time to experience Don Angie is in the summer because we have a lot more room for walk-ins and stuff. But
Mhm.
yeah,
So did you guys come up with that recipe together? Like, do you sit around and brainstorm food together?
yeah. I mean, I always say like we're almost like because we, it's almost like cheating because we're two chefs together coming up with recipes instead of one chef that's typically the head chef of a restaurant. So we'll come up with ideas and we bounce them off of each other, and we've been doing that forever.
And we know each other so well, and I think we like communicate so well that we just like I don't know. Sometimes we like read each other's minds
Mhm.
like throughout the process. So it's just like I don't know.
And we
Just
also know
explain
when
it.
to tell each other, you know what, we'll work on ideas and work on things, and it just doesn't. We'll just like beat ourselves up over something, and one of us will be like, you know what, let's just table this thing and either come back to it in a month, or sometimes we never come back to it. But like,
Does one of you ever make something for the other and you go, this is terrible?
no, I mean, I'm very sensitive, so whenever
Got it.
I'm so sensitive. I should be so sensitive. I always get like upset, like if Angie doesn't like what I make, but like, but I will say like, I sometimes am like my strength is I'm good with coming up with ideas. I'm not necessarily great with like executing the ideas. Angie's really great with like helping execute it. I mean, she's great at coming up with ideas too, but like she's really, really great at executing ideas and making them like executable, so.
Since you do work together, is it like, have you had to divide and conquer on things? Or like, are there certain things that you want to keep separate, or is most everything a collaboration?
No, I mean, well, our dish development, I think, is always like a collaboration because we always want each other's opinion, and we would never put anything on the menu that A, we haven't tested like a lot of times, and B, both of us don't. Like, both of us have to like something, otherwise we wouldn't put it. It wouldn't be like if she liked something but I didn't, we would still put it on the menu. That would never happen. Like, we would both have.
And
to
we also
agree.
like taste test it with our team members too. Like we
Yes.
try to get
a lot of people's
like
opinion on it.
yeah, for sure.
But as far as like our, dividing and conquering, we definitely work different schedules. We do different things at the restaurants.
We have
I'm
different
typically like a morning person, so I usually drop our son off at school and go to work. Angie's always been more of a night person, so she does more of the night work. I'm like, Mr. Fix It at the restaurants now because we have 3 restaurants, things break all day long. It's great,
We have
Oh, I
two
bet.
restaurants, but one
Well,
private event.
one private room.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but when you have all this space, like, and especially in these old West Village, buildings, it's just like, they're just always issues. So
What are the most popular dishes at San Sabino?
San Sabino is definitely the lobster triangoli,
Mhm.
which is a lobster. Basically, like, when you used to go to the old school red sauce like restaurant and you would get like the pink lobster ravioli and like the pink
Yes.
sauce. It's basically like our version of that.
It's like a more sophisticated version. It's like I hate to say the word like deconstructed, but I don't know how else to say it. It's
Yeah.
kind of like a deconstructed like vodka sauce. So like everything that would be like red about the vodka sauce is inside of the pasta along with the lobster, and then it's in what we call a white vodka sauce.
Which is
So-
basically like kind of like a sous vide sauce
Yes.
meets vodka
Yeah.
sauce kind of thing.
Mm.
But then we make this really intense lobster butter that we chill, and then we put inside the pasta with the actual lobster filling so that when it cooks, there's like a lot of lobster butter inside of the pasta. So when you cut it, all this like lobster butter leaches out and makes
It's like
like
a really
the white,
intense,
makes
like,
like
really-
pink sauce. But
yeah.
and it's really good. And then
I really should have eaten before I came here today.
and then I have this like thing that growing up, my dad would always order shrimp parmesan, specifically like from like, shrimp parmesan, like heroes from like a pizza place and stuff. And like, I always loved shrimp parmesan. And it's like one of these things that like people think we invented it there, which we did not. I mean, a lot of places have shrimp parmesan. And that's like, but the way we do it there, we do this really big U5 head-on shrimp from Ecuador that like, in this really like intense like arrabbiata sauce that which
We call it like a sweet and sour arrabbiata sauce, so it's like
that
spicy.
it's also
and,
very
like,
popular.
yeah.
People eat it and then they're like, "Oh, it tastes like chicken." Well, I mean, I don't know. It's just like
I think the whole idea of like
anything breaded kind of tastes
anything
the same.
parm, like eggplant parm, chicken parm, like you're not trying to taste like the essence of the chicken. You know what I mean? It's all about the like bread and the cheese and the
sauce
sauce.
and
Like,
everything.
that's kind of what that is.
What are your favorite old school Italian American recipes? Like if you were going to eat in a restaurant that's like a red sauce joint,
We
what would you
typically always
order?
order like similar things at every. We do a lot of red sauce eating at old school places. That's probably one of our favorite thing to do.
What are your favorite old school places?
I mean, there's a lot of them, so
Yes.
it's hard to start. Man, Ducati's in Long Island City is amazing.
Jeans.
Jeans is
Oh, is
amazing.
jeans good? I always wondered about
I mean,
it.
good is like a,
good is
I don't know
a
how you
term,
define
yeah.
it, but
Yeah.
it's like, well, there's a reason
The
why it's been open like
atmosphere-
90
the
years. I mean,
atmosphere is amazing.
Yeah, its atmosphere is amazing.
Don
But like
Pepe's.
Don Pepe's is amazing, and then like they don't need any help, but Emilio's Bellato is
Love
always
them.
really good.
I love Bamontes.
Bamontes
for many
is-
reasons as well. Again, the food, not.
Yeah, but
I mean, but the atmosphere.
the atmosphere is insane.
Yeah.
And then couple other little, we recently were able to get a table at Rayo's because I
Oh,
got
how was that?
I have a table once a year on my birthday, which is kind of amazing. It's very good. It's very.
How did
very
you
good.
get that
It's
hookup for
very
once a
good.
year?
The GM of Rayo's came to Don Angie. That's how I met him.
Oh,
Yeah.
so do you all do like a little exchange? Like you
Yeah.
can get a
Well, he
table
has
here.
the same birthday as you.
Yeah, he
right?
has the same birthday.
Yeah,
So that's kind of
that's
how
the
it
birthday
happens.
connection.
You both switch.
Yeah, well, kind of, So, but it's amazing. And then there's one place. It's not so red saucy, but I'd like to talk about it because I love this place so much. Noodle Pudding in Brooklyn Heights is one of my favorite restaurants.
It's like our neighborhood spot. We live in Dumbo, right near there,
Yeah.
and
But
we
it's like
love it.
literally one of my favorite restaurants ever.
What do you get there?
I mean, everything. And
The
they,
fried
They
whiting.
do this fried whiting that's amazing. Their Sunday sauce pasta is amazing. It has pork skin in it, which like you wouldn't see. It's very old school. They do like they really do amazing fish. Like we were just there the other night. We took some friends there, and they do like flounder piccata, which is just like it's like perfect. They make like perfect swordfish. Yeah, it's just
I actually had flounder piccata last night for dinner. It's funny that you say that.
Really?
And it was so good.
good, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love an old school place. I love the feeling that you get when you go there. Like you said, it's not always about the food, but I
It's like
just
the
like the whole
whole-
vibe.
But we always order, usually not at Noodle Pudding 'cause they don't have it, but like most other places have, we always order like baked clams. That's like a thing that we always pretty much get.
or something oreganata, like a baked, or like a fish oreganata,
We usually get linguine and clams.
linguine and clams. Yeah.
Because we like to try that. We do something red saucy, whether it's a pasta or like a Parmesan kind of thing. A lot of times we'll try the Caesar salad.
Yes.
We don't deviate tons. Or we usually do like if they have like a hot antipasto platter, which they have at Jeans, which is kind of good.
Yes.
We do that because it gives you like a little bit of everything.
I love a platter
overeat,
in general.
we
We
eat too much.
overorder.
Always like a side of
Some
broccoli rabe,
leftovers.
and the more
Always.
garlic it has in it, the better.
Or a side of escarole if it's on
Yeah.
the menu.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
What's a dish that you have that takes you back to your childhood?
me, it's probably like I don't even like.
Wait, a dish on our restaurant menu?
No,
Or
like
we
that you think of as like your nostalgic food. It's like that childhood comfort.
meatballs. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Pasta
I-
visual.
We failed to mention that, but I order meatballs everywhere
Yeah,
just because I feel like it's a good like litmus test, like tasting like a meatball from a restaurant, just to
And there's also like
But-
there's like a very big range in how people make meatballs.
yes.
So there's like the very soft meatball that has a lot of bread that's like boiled in the sauce, and it's very like I don't know, you just cut it. It's like very like
Like-
sponge like
Yeah.
almost like when you cut it, it doesn't sound great.
Or
but
there's like a dense style meatball, or like all beef versus combination of meat.
you
It's
can usually tell if it's all
kind of
beef.
fascinating.
My
There's
grandma
like so many
only used
ways
all
to go
beef.
with it.
Yeah, so that's
Which way do you guys go?
So our recipe from the book, we have a whole meatball section in there, but our classic meatball is beef and veal. We do a couple key things in our meatball. I think our meatballs are pretty amazing.
I'm pretty proud of our meatballs.
We do. There's three key things that we do that I think like a lot of people don't do, and I think it makes a big difference. One is we don't put raw garlic in the meatball. We put garlic puree because raw garlic.
Roasted garlic puree.
Yeah, roasted garlic puree. Because the raw garlic never cooks out in the meatball. And I mean, I don't mind raw garlic and I actually really like it, but like it can be like a lot for some people. And the roasted garlic just gives it like more of like a well-rounded flavor in our opinion. like, I know this sounds weird, but we put raw onion in it, but we take the onion and we puree it so it's completely smooth and then strain out all the juice. So just put the onion puree in it. And when it cooks, it kind of like steams inside the meatball and gives onion, like fresh onion, like flavor to the whole meatball. And then we do a panade instead of breadcrumbs.
Mm.
And
So these are good.
Combination of cheeses.
we use 2 cheeses, Parmesan Reggiano, only 24-month Reggiano. That's all we use for anything. And Pecorino Toscano for it. We do love Pecorino Romano and Locatelli and all that kind of stuff too. We just, for our restaurants, we don't typically use it. We use Toscano just because it's a little bit more.
It's a
depth
little
of
more
flavor.
complex, yeah, and it's like less salty.
Mm-hmm.
And then do you fry the meatball or what's the cooking process?
So actually, we've found that, and in the restaurant stuff, we bake them in the oven. But don't get me wrong, I love a fried meatball. I absolutely love it. But then this goes back to the thing where everybody kind of cooks meatballs differently and stuff. So like my other thing is the other type of meatball that you would get when like my grandma would make a Sunday sauce is they would cook it, in olive oil on the stove to get it really crispy all around and then cook it in the sauce. So it has a totally different mouthfeel. It's crispy on the outside. It's kind of like harder in the middle versus the one that doesn't even, they just roll it and put it right in the sauce where it's very, very soft. So it's like, it depends on what you like or what you're used to and what you grew up eating.
Yeah, it's kind of like that sense memory thing.
And they all kind of taste good. Like there's no
bad
we use it as a
meatball.
litmus test. Not
Yeah.
really. We just kind of like use it as like we just kind of like, it's never like, oh, this restaurant's not good because the meatball's not like to me, every meatball is good. It's
Yeah.
just like,
I don't know. I've had some bad meatballs.
I just love Italian American food
Same.
so much that I could just eat it every day of my life and never
Never get tired of it.
Probably not. I
My
think
daughter,
most people
for
feel the
some
same way.
reason, won't eat meatballs. And she went to a friend's house and finally had a meatball. And she came home and said it was a bad meatball and that it
Oh,
was
no.
tough. And I was like,
Goodness,
oh,
you got to bring
God.
it in. Well, our son loves pizza. It's like his favorite thing ever. Loves cheese. Loves macaroni and cheese, but will not eat and loves pasta with red sauce. But if you put cheese on it, he won't eat it.
Oh, no.
And like to the point where he, like in the restaurant, sometimes he'll order like penne with red sauce. So that's a lot of times. And like sometimes, they come over, they put cheese and like they accidentally.
Yeah, it's a problem. We have to,
out.
yeah,
Like he
it's-
doesn't. I'm like, I don't understand. You love pizza. You like cheese. Like,
Yeah,
what's the difference?
there's like a disconnect.
He's
I go
not
through the
right.
same stuff.
I
All right,
can't-
tell me about your son. He's 5 years old.
He's 5 years old. He's very, very funny. I don't know. Like what? There's so much to tell about him. I just can't even.
Does he like Italian American food?
He
I
loves
mean, he
Italian
loves
American
pasta,
food.
yeah.
He'll tell you his favorite pasta shape is caramelle,
Oh,
which is something we
fancy.
serve at Don Angie.
He's a big pizza connoisseur.
hmm
His favorite place for pizza is probably. I don't want to offend anybody because we have so many friends. We have so many friends that make pizza. So he's been to Razza. He's been to Una. He's been to Lucali. He loves all of them. He knows all 3 of those guys, which are
No,
dear
he
friends
loves
of
our
ours,
2
the best.
neighborhood spots the best.
But he-
Simone Gardens and Ignazio's. I feel like
Tony
are his
Gardens
two,
open in Monroe. He loves their pizza,
slices.
but not even the thick one. He likes just the
classic
triangle.
triangle. Yeah.
and,
So my daughter says triangle. She does not want a square slice. If it's square, she's upset.
and a very underrated place in Dumbo called Ignazio's. That's kind of like under the radar.
I don't know it.
It's very, very,
very
good.
good.
Very
To
good.
try it. Well,
Yeah.
it sounds like your son and my daughter would get along swimmingly. They could have just pizza days.
Yeah. I mean, I think most kids probably like that age just love.
I mean,
pizza, but
I love pizza. It's like, when do you ever get tired of eating pizza?
Angie has this saying that like it's always like a good time if you're eating pizza, right?
Yeah. I mean, think about it. Like, have you ever, can you recall a time in your life where you were like eating a piece of pizza and it wasn't like a fun time?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean?
It's not like sad pizza. Like you don't order pizza
It's
for
always-
something
it's always
depressing.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always for like a good time. What do you guys think? You have made these iconic dishes, like the things that people always talk about when they come to your restaurants, what they always order. What are the most underrated items on your menus that you think people don't give these enough attention?
I think the pasta cacciatore at Don Angie, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
which is really cool. We make like a sourdough pasta that kind of like weirdly came out of COVID because Scott, whatever, Scott, like everyone else was like making sourdough at home or whatever for a period of time. And we had like all this starter and we ended up making pasta. So then we ended up making sourdough pasta. And then, the dish is it's like basically this like really kind of like smoky, like chicken and olive sauce with andouille and mezcal.
Mm.
So that one's pretty up there. What's that?
No, I mean, both of our restaurants, we do really good entrees too. But specifically at both restaurants, one of the best dishes at both restaurants that people don't talk about ever are the chicken dishes that we do.
Mm.
And it's interesting because the one at Don Angie, we use only thighs because chicken thighs are the best. And the one at Don Angie it's like a take on scaparello.
Mm.
But the one this goes to more old school red sauce places. The one at San Sabino is super cool because it's a take on the chicken Savoy at
Belmont Tavern.
the Belmont Tavern in New Jersey, which is like an amazing old school red sauce place. It's kind of like on like the Rayos level, like very cool, like just unbelievable place. And they're both like phenomenal and different.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I just like they're kind of like sleeper hits on the menu, I think.
Yeah, I guess nobody thinks of like chicken. Well, I guess we just named 3 chicken things. I named chicken pasta too.
Yeah.
People don't usually like think of that as being,
Yeah, chicken pasta is kind of unusual.
Mhm.
You don't
It's so
think
good
of
though.
it as much.
And then the clam pasta that we do at San Sabino is like
yes,
unbelievable.
with Amarillo chili.
It's not like your typical clam pasta. It's a little like creamier and stuff, but it is so good.
And it's with like hand rolled buziate.
I'm gonna have to like edit out the sounds of myself listening to this episode. I'm so hungry. I want to ask you guys some food questions. First up, what was your breakfast today?
I mean,
3 cups of coffee.
coffee, and then I was at the
Seriously.
restaurant, so I just ate like we do family meal at San Sabino. I mean, it was like actually our sous chef there, Connor, made an amazing breakfast. He made scones with chocolate in them, and but I can't eat that kind of stuff for breakfast. And there's always eggs, so he just made like a frittata kind of thing with actually he put capicola in it, and it was really good. We use this amazing Fermani capicola, if you know Fermani,
No, I don't.
but they're from California. They make the best.
Both of our teams make really good family meal.
Yeah, really good family meal.
Whenever I walk past a restaurant and they're having family meal, I always wish I could go in and eat it.
Yeah, I mean it's always like
Hop in if
Yeah.
if you're cruising
Just
by.
knock on the
Anytime,
door.
seriously. Tap on the
I just
window.
had a little bit of that for
I'll
family.
be like, hey, y'all, man, I was with Scott and Angie the other day, and they said I could come in for family meal. Especially if I see like a chopped iceberg salad. Like it always looks like there's a
Oh,
good salad at
Yeah,
family
we
meal.
do a good salad. Yeah.
Yeah, I love
You're making
that.
me hungry.
I love that. What's one ingredient you can't live without?
There's a few that we can't live without.
I know. For me, it's like oh, go ahead.
No, you go first.
For me, it's a toss up between garlic and oregano, but like home dried oregano, which is something that my grandma did. She would grow oregano and then dry it herself. And this is something that we do in the restaurants too, because it, I think, lends like a totally different flavor profile to things.
I guess
Those are my
mine's a little-
two.
Mine's a little obscure.
What
But
is
she
it?
asked for one though, not two.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
I can't. I'm sorry.
We use this one ingredient in a lot of colatura. We use like in both restaurants in a lot of dishes, and I just think it's such a way to add like interesting, depth of flavor to things, and people don't even know it's there. It's basically like anchovy juice kind of, and it's just we use it a lot. It's
Mhm.
in the lasagna actually.
I think colatura is going to be like the next big thing. Like people are just starting to learn about, like home cooks starting to learn about it, and I think that anchovy adds so much to your food. And
Yeah.
like that colatura, you can add just a drop.
Angie started using something a couple years ago, which is interesting, coconut aminos.
Oh
Which kind of
yeah, we
adds,
buy
like,
those. Yeah.
Adds like a little bit of that depth of flavor as well, but it's vegetarian. So
Yeah.
yeah, but
I
it's
yeah, I
kind of
started using
interesting,
it
too.
because of like the vegetarian perspective, but then now I've kind of like leaned more into it.
It's not. I mean, it's not a substitute for colatura, but it
Yeah.
just kind of does the same thing where it adds like depth of flavor where you don't even. I mean, it's as much as you put it in some of the cocktails because she did the cocktail menu.
Oh
at
yeah, it's in
Sanspino.
some of our cocktails.
And
Interesting.
yeah,
See, these are good chef tricks that people can use at home that amplifies what they're making. It's like those little tweaks that you
Yeah.
can do that make all the difference in the world.
and you could buy all that stuff. I mean, we buy the coconut aminos on Amazon. None of our purveyors have it. So
This is very
yeah.
What's one of your restaurant pet peeves?
Restaurant pet peeve. In what sense?
Yeah,
Like you go in and it's like, oh,
I know what Scott's gonna say, but I feel like we share the same one.
wait, what? I don't even know what I'm.
Really? We both get super annoyed when like the server doesn't write down your
Oh yeah.
order because I'm like, there's no way you're gonna remember that. Also, like, why are you trying to like put on a show? Like, just write it down. Like, I
Yep.
just want to feel confident
mhm.
that you
I don't-
know
That'd be
what I
great.
ordered.
we like to the point where I don't know if restaurants think maybe it doesn't look good when the server writes it down or something. So that's why they want people to like do that thing where they stand there and memorize it. But then what happens is either they don't say it back to you and they get it wrong, or they say it back to you and it's wrong,
And then
and
you have
it's
to
a
take the
waste of
time
your
to
time.
Yeah.
Like just
And
write
their
it
time.
down, in my opinion, and their time. So just like, and especially servers and busy New York City restaurants, every second counts for them. Like they're so busy. But like, I think if you just write it down, you're gonna, and so that's yeah.
So do you tell your wait staff, take notes?
Yes, I do. Please write the order down because I don't know how you expect to remember an order, especially when all of a sudden there's nuances to the order and certain things. Maybe somebody wants to substitute something or somebody has an allergy. And especially if somebody has an allergy, please write it down because the last thing we want to do is give somebody with an allergy something that, they can't have. So
How do you feel about substitutions?
I always look at it as, listen, we're in the hospitality industry. Like people are coming to our house basically to dine. And as long as it's within reason or not creating a dish, then I'm fine with it. Taking things out of dishes is totally fine with me. Adding things to an extent, if we can do it, we'll do it. But like when somebody like creates something that we don't have on the menu and they're like, oh, can I have like a Caesar salad with grilled chicken on it? Like, no, we're not going to do that. But like, which happens. But like, yes, taking things off, I have no problem. Or like something on the side, sure. Like, yeah.
It's like I love when you go to those old school Italian restaurants and they go through like this laundry list of specials and at the end they go, or we can make anything you want.
It blows my mind. Like, what is going on back
I know,
there?
right?
How are they?
It's something. I'd like to trail. I'd like to trail in a restaurant like
Yes, I want to know what's going on.
I would be lost. I wouldn't be able to. There's no way I'd be able to cook in a restaurant like that. I just don't have that.
They're
skill.
so accommodating. I mean,
Yeah.
there is like that element of Italian hospitality that just cannot be beat.
Yeah.
What's a food trend that you would like to see die?
Food trend. We like.
I think
to
like
that.
caviar and everything.
Yeah. I mean, well, listen. I love caviar. Love it so much. But yeah, it went to like the next. It got like a little out of hand. And this happens though. Like uni was 5 years ago.
Yeah, it's always cyclical.
You would see that at every single restaurant. Before that, it was like beet salad at every single restaurant, and before that, it was octopus, or maybe it was octopus and then beet salad. But like, so like, yeah, I think it's just like this thing where you get like one ingredient that people just like focus on, and it just gets to the point where it just gets. See, now, like, I think you could use uni on your menu and it looks kind of cool because you haven't seen it in a while at like a lot of
Right.
restaurants.
Well, then what is something you'd like to see come back?
Uni.
Let's bring back uni. Let's do it. We're bringing it
I
back
don't know.
today.
It's just
You heard it here.
also an amazing ingredient and tastes amazing. It's just like when you start putting on every single thing at every restaurant and you see it at like all like different types of restaurants, then and you get different quality, and then it starts to, and the same thing with caviar. You'll see like very poor quality caviar at every single restaurant on everything, and it's like, just because you put caviar on it doesn't mean it's going to taste good. Like,
Right.
so
What is your next trip to Italy? Where are you going?
we were talking,
We
talking
put
about
us-
bringing some friends
Yeah.
in September maybe, but that haven't been to Italy. So it's really hard when you
Mm.
want to bring people that have never been before. So
It might be like we might be hitting up a few places because they've never been.
what did we end up talking about?
We talked about Emilia Romagna.
Yeah, Bologna, which we actually I'd like to go back to.
Yeah.
We've only been there
And we
once.
talked about like Florence and Tuscany.
Which we love
So-
Florence. We got married there, but
Oh, nice.
yeah, it's probably that's actually my favorite city in Italy. Yeah, I just love Sicily though in general, but
Yeah.
Is there a region that you haven't been to that you want to explore?
we haven't been to Calabria, but that's not like a region. But like,
Oh,
what's
yeah, it
the-
is. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. We haven't been to.
Yes, but we've
Calabria.
been to Sardinia, we've been to Puglia, we've been to Trieste, we've been to a lot of places, and they're all amazing. We
Mhm.
do have one tradition that we do, which is really fun. We usually a lot of times we'll fly in and out of Milan because it's always like the least expensive. And on our last night, we go to Chinatown in Milan and we eat at, because we're always like sick of Italian people by the end of the trip, and we eat at Angie will remember the name of the restaurant.
Trattoria Hua Cheng.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's
like
incredible.
it's like you could. It's like if you took a restaurant from like like I'm trying to think of one of those ones on like Mott Street, like
What, like New Wonton Garden or
something like that, and like put it in Milan. It's just like it's the best. Like the servers
Well,
are really
it's like-
rude.
Chi- Stop. It's Chinese food, but like with like Italian ingredients. So it's like, I don't know, like all of the vegetables you could tell are just like super high quality. I don't know,
Yeah.
in a way that's different than like the like Chinese American food we get
Yes.
here. I don't know how to describe
That
it,
sounds
So
but
good.
good.
it's so
And
good.
it's so fun.
So
and it's like super casual.
the eggplant agriculture.
And you always have to
Oh,
wait for a
man.
table because there's like 6 tables. But it's
How
like
fun. Like
it's not a
something so
nice
different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a very casual kind of place.
Yeah.
But
Well, speaking of getting sick of Italian food, do you ever get sick of your lasagna? Like, are you still eating it, or are you like, oh, I can't have it again?
no, I eat it. If one ever does get like, like refired or whatever it is, or like we have one that like we can't sell because it doesn't look nice when it came out of the oven, we'll like put it aside. Or sometimes they get a little too dark, we'll put it aside. And the other day I think I was like expediting lunch or something on Saturday, and I messed up one of the things, or I fired one extra, and I ate it, and I was like, wow, it's like no, it was like good because it was like it takes a while to dial in the recipe and stuff, and we have it like really. When I first opened the restaurant, I would only make every lasagna because I was insane and I thought I was the only one that could make it.
I'd be like, Scott, we need to teach.
I would only
someone
make the
else
bolognese
to make the
sauce. I
lasagna.
wouldn't let it.
This
But
is
now
not
we've had to teach
sustainable.
a lot of people how to make it, and but we didn't really even have a good recipe. I didn't even
I think we've come a long way. Yeah, we've really dialed in some really amazing
yes.
systems. I mean, that restaurant, both of our restaurants impress me in this regard, but like they're tiny little restaurants with very little storage space. And we, I think, have dialed in some very good systems to produce a lot of food, at a high volume
Yeah.
consistently, especially Don Angie. We literally have a walk-in cooler now that is the lasagna walk-in. It just houses lasagnas and things related to lasagna because we produce so much of it.
Wow.
But it's made,
A
we
lasagna
still,
walk-in cooler.
yeah, but we still, and it's, the 60-seat restaurant. We still make the bolognese sauce in these like big pots on the stove. Like we still, all of the pasta is handmade. It's
Every sheet
it's
has
a
to be
very
blanched and iced
laborious
down and dried.
process, and we still make it in that
I mean,
way.
We can't open for
But-
lunch during the week because we literally physically don't have enough space for all the lasagna, and we need to like cook the bolognese sauce. We only have one very small little like kitchen cooking line, so we need to cook all the bolognese sauce. We do it all during the week, and then we have it all ramped up so we're able to get through the weekend because it's so hard to produce everything.
Lasagna is a pain in the ass to make. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Like, there's a
I
lot
mean,
to it.
People will write to us and be like, "Oh, I made the lasagna from your cookbook. It took me 4 days to make," and I'm like, "Yeah, it takes that."
Truly,
And
yeah.
it costs like $200 to make it because you have to buy all these ingredients.
Whatever you're charging for it is
Yeah, it's a good deal,
It's a
actually.
good deal.
Yeah.
It's a
Because
really good deal.
lasagna is labor intensive. There are so
Yes.
many different elements to it, and yours is so awesome. I have one last question for you, and that's what is one word you would just use to describe each other?
Oh, this is
That's a tough one. I don't want to know the word Angela used to describe me. I think Angie, I think the word is like, makes sense, like driven. She's so driven, like every day to like keep like just making everything better than it is, if that makes sense.
Yes.
And like making the food better than it was yesterday. And never, we have an almost 9-year-old restaurant, and every day she still is driven to like make it better and better and better. And, to the point, like it's not just the food. It's like the plateware. It's like the napkins. It's like always never settling for like for the way it is good enough. Like always just driven to make it better and better, which I think is really cool.
I think I would use the word passionate. I think Scott is like, you're just very passionate about, I don't know. No, you're very like, you have very like strong feelings about things that you feel for.
I do.
So,
Very passionate about certain things.
I think driven and passionate. What more could you ask for? That's pretty great. I love talking to you guys. I want to be friends. I want our kids to play together.
Yeah.
Oh, I did think of one more question, just to circle back to the beginning of our conversation with talking about how, you always have a line. There's so many requests for reservations. Do you have advice to people who maybe are listening and they're coming to New York City on a trip, or somebody who lives here and is always putting in the resi requests? Like, are there any tips for how to get in?
Yes, tips, but I want to make it clear that we want everyone to eat at the restaurant. We don't want people to ever feel like it's the kind of restaurant that they shouldn't like. It's only for like, it's so exclusive. It's not at all. It's just very, very, very small, very small. And the rest of the reservations do go online every day and they go like very quickly. And
7
people,
days in
people will
advance.
write it. Yes, but every day they go online and the people will write in and be like, there's nothing that went online. And it went online. You just literally like it was so fast that it's already gone.
What
But
time do
come
they
to
go
the
up?
restaurant. They go online at 9 a.m., 7
Okay.
days out. San Sabino is a little different. San Sabino is 30 days out at 9 a.m. But come to the restaurant and just like, especially in the summer, we almost double the capacity in the summer. So we only have 65 seats typically, including the bar. But in the summer, we add another 30 seats outside. So, and come for lunch. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we're open for lunch. It's the same menu as dinner. We have the lasagna. It's way easier to get in. You can almost always walk in and get seats at the bar or wait very minimal. So I think that's the best way to get in, right?
Yeah, the bar seats we always reserve for walk-ins.
Yeah,
Yeah.
always for walk-ins.
So
We
people-
do 30 people at the bar at least a day.
Yeah,
That's a really good tip. Lunch is a great
Lunch is
idea.
the easiest way to get
I
into the restaurant.
agree with that. Yeah, and people will typically like, line up like a half hour before we open basically
Yes.
to get their name on the list right away.
And our other restaurant is open 14 services, lunch and dinner every day. And the food is just as good or better than Don Angie. It's
And
just-
if you can't make it in, get Italian American and just make it.
Yeah.
Tell everybody where they can find you online.
Don Angie NYC is
Yes.
the Don Angie handle, and then San Sabino NYC is our San
Okay,
Sabino
great.
handle.
Great. This was awesome. Thank you so much. Everybody listening, if you enjoyed this, leave a comment, hit subscribe. If you didn't enjoy it, just keep it moving. Keep it to yourself. Thank you all so much.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.